Finally, we come to the last day or the morning of the exam. Revise it till the evening. Revise your content till the evening. But ensure that you get enough sleep. Don't panic. Ensure that you get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Whatever your sleeping pattern is, don't disrupt that. Because if you revise till 1 a.m. in the morning, you might get a question. You might be able to get 2 more marks. But your decision making will be impaired, your speed will be impaired, your analysis and your brain will be impaired, and that will affect every question that you attempt. So don't endanger 200 marks for those 2 marks. Take sugar with you in the exam. Some people take chocolate. I used to take grounded sugar. That gives you instant energy boost. And eat that sugar after first iteration when you are filling the bubbles. And eat sugar right before you enter the exam room for 30 to 45 minutes before you enter the exam room. That can also work. Relax. One day, one evening is not going to change your destiny. The work that you have done through the entire year will be affecting the way you appear in the prelims. So the mood, anxiety, frustration, stress that you have on the last day will be informed by the efforts that you have put in the entire year. And if you can be honest with yourself and you can tell yourself that, okay, I've done everything that I could do. Honestly, I've done everything that was within my power in the attempt. Then you should be able to relax. Whatever the result comes, it will give you a chance to improve. If the result is not favorable, if the result is favorable, then congratulations, you're on the right track. Some common mistakes to avoid is that thinking that prelims is about just 1 to 1 months of prep. People do that. Many people do that. And then some people say that it is a matter of luck. Prelims is a matter of luck. I discussed my strategy. I worked for the prelims all the year round. The time that was devoted on prelims varied between my attempts as well as varied throughout the year depending on how far or how close I was to the prelims. Not reading the content appropriately, right? I've already mentioned that how you should read the same book differently for prelims as well as for the mains. Not revising, reading too much content, not revising it, so not able to reproduce it, impaired decision making, vague recollection and wrong answer. Not doing tests, thinking that I've already revised things, I don't need to do tests, it will be fine. That is not the way it works. Not doing the test properly. Okay, so I attempted 85 questions, I got 70 right, even though I was only sure in 45 questions. I got 70 right. So I should read only 30 questions. I should read the solution to only 30 questions. And what about those 25 questions in the middle that you were not sure of, but you still attempted and hopefully and probabilistically you got them right. You should read the solutions ideally to all the 100 questions. That not being possible, at least to the 55 questions that you were not sure of or got wrong or even got right based on probability. You should read the solutions to all of them. Skipping between test series. I mentioned that you should not skip between test series. Complete one coaching test series. Whether it is vision, I did vision. Some people did insights, some people did IAS Baba. Unique IAS tests were also good. I did some quizzes. So they are helpful, but do not skip. Then cost benefit. Sometimes people pick up new material before the prelims, 1 month before the prelims. First timers can do that because they might not have covered the entire material, but I would advise that second timers, third timers, do not do that. You should have worked hard. You should have already made your notes throughout the year. Do not pick up new material before the prelims. It will create panic. It will not be cost beneficial for you. Then there's always some luck factor. Some information about a particular topic that you might have studied appeared in the exam that you missed. There is always a luck factor, but I've always said that the harder you work, the luckier you get. As simple as that. How to read the atlas? See, atlas is something that has to be covered almost exclusively for prelims. Maps are made in general studies as well, in GS mains, but the information that comes from atlas in the prelims is very specific and that has to be covered. And if you don't know that, like north to south order of cities, east to west order of cities, and mountains, peaks, and rivers, boundaries of countries, seas, all these things have to be covered. And if you are not covering this, you might not be able to attempt the question. So I would advise you to cover the atlas, but the way to cover the atlas, as I already mentioned, is not spending 10 hours in a day. It is spending, the way I did it, is spending 1 to 1.5 hours every day for about a month. Why? Because it can be a refreshing exercise at the end of the day when you are bored, when you are exhausted, when you are about to go to bed. Just spend some time looking at the atlas. But by looking, I don't mean just looking. The way I studied the atlas is that I used a red pen. I marked state boundaries, country boundaries, river courses, and seas. I wrote in the margins the order of north to south of cities, east to west of cities, so that I don't have to exclusively figure out those orders in every attempt. or every time I read the atlas. I can just simply read the margin and be done.